nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A dairy farmer from Northeast Wisconsin sues the Trump administration for discrimination. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty is representing Adam Faust, a white dairy farmer suing the USDA. Faust is claiming certain loan programs unfairly prioritize sex and race, saying that he's charged a $100 fee that minority and female farmers don't have to pay. Now, 6 Republicans are urging the USDA to end what they called discriminatory practices. Faust was among several farmers who successfully sued the Biden administration in 2021 for race discrimination in the USDA's Farmer Loan Forgiveness Plan. New affordable housing in Milwaukee's King Park neighborhood. County Executive David Crowley says the goal of the project is to increase home ownership. The county is using $6 million in federal funds to build 120 new homes in the West Side neighborhood. 6 homes are already built, and the rest will be constructed by the end of the year. The Attorney General does not need permission to settle certain civil lawsuits. That's the unanimous decision by Wisconsin's High Court today. At issue was the Attorney General's power to resolve environmental and consumer protection cases in cases involving the governor's office and executive branch. A law signed in 2018 required the legislator's Budget Committee to sign off on those settlements. Today, the Wisconsin Supreme Court declared the law unconstitutional. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Yes, it is my voice. I am here. It is I. I've been gone a week, and it has been great. I probably shouldn't say that, should I? It was great not talking to y'all. I probably shouldn't say that. No, it's been great, and had some good time off. And, yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. I have not been keeping up with any of the news. I am shocked that we haven't been blown up by somebody with all the crap that's going on in the world. But, you know, I digress. Great being here. Let me open up my chat. 833-212-1017 is the number. Want to remind everybody, this will be the last week. Truth survey. Keyword is survey, S-U-R-V-E-Y, and text it to 833-212-1017 and fill out the simple survey. Trying to find out who you is, who you with, who you with, who you with. Okay, I was trying to say. So I've been gone a week. I haven't been talking to anybody, if you can believe that. I've been talking to anybody, so I haven't been talking. So I'll probably talk the whole show, forget to play commercials, all that. Why? Because I ain't been here. I have not been here. And it's great. I had some good time off. Did a lot of traveling, though. Actually spent some time in West Virginia. And let me tell you, getting to West Virginia from Milwaukee is no easy task at all. And then I was in Indianapolis, and then I was in West Virginia, then I was in Chicago. So it's been a fun week, but I am glad to be back because I get to talk to Truth Nation and tell you about all the things that I've been through. What's up, Atlanta? What's going on? Talk about all the things that's been going on in the city and all the things that went on when I was gone, except I don't know what those are because I didn't pay attention. I literally, for the first time in my life, didn't pay attention to the news, which for me is like not having air to breathe, right? But then when I came back, I saw shooting, fire, shooting. I was like, okay. So I really didn't miss anything. I could have literally guessed what happened and come up with what happened by simply guessing. Yes, I know that was redundant, but it was just one of those weeks, and it was great. Now, at least I told y'all I was leaving. I at least let you know that I was leaving. I said, hey, I'm not going to be here. And not one person said, oh, we're going to miss you. Nobody. They was like, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, and have a nice life. So here I am, back to torture you and harass you and cry about not having a good time, even though I had a phenomenal time. But I did miss you. If you got a question, 833-212-1017 is the number. I got a comment. To the state GOP, the lawmakers, the legislature, those of you who are pretending to create laws for us in Wisconsin. So I got some stuff I don't understand. From CBS 58, unanimous Wisconsin Supreme Court sided with the Democratic State Attorney General today in a long-running battle over a law passed by Republicans who wanted to weaken the office in a lame duck legislative session more than 6 years ago. The court rules 7-0. Now, I can't see them taking this to the Supreme Court, which would be idiotic because they would have to pay a lawyer because the lawsuit was about the state attorney general, who's the state's lawyer. Well, the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled 7-0 that required the attorney general to get permission from a Republican-controlled legislative committee to settle certain civil lawsuits was unconstitutional. The law is a separation of powers violation, the court said. The Republican-controlled legislature convened a session in December 2018 after Democratic Governor Tony Evers and Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul defeated Republican incumbents. The laws signed by the Republican Governor Scott Walker on his way out the door weakened powers of both offices. And at issue in the case decided was the Attorney General's power to settle civil lawsuits involving environmental and consumer protection cases, as well as cases involving the governor's office and executive branch. The new law required the legislature's budget committee, which is controlled by Republicans, to sign off. Well, the Wisconsin Supreme Court in 2020 was controlled by conservatives, upheld all the lame duck laws, and ruled that they did not violate separation of powers principle, but the ruling left the door open to future challenges on how the laws are applied. Well, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul sued, arguing that having to seek approval for lawsuit settlements violates separation of powers between legislative and executive branches. The legislature argued that lawmakers have an interest in overseeing the settlement of lawsuits and that the court's earlier ruling saying there was no separation of powers should stand. I even agree that that was dumb. I agree with Josh Kaul. That's dumb. But what does the Republican... So we talk about reaching across the aisle. We talk about doing all these things. But yet, when it comes time to be able to do it, to sit down and have a clear conversation about it, that's exactly what we get, crickets. So we complain about these counties, right? I can't believe they went to Dane County. Dane County Circuit Court Judge Susan Crawford, who won the election to the state Supreme Court in April and will be joining the court in August, ruled in favor of Kaul in 2022, saying the law was unconstitutional. The state appeals court overturned a ruling in December of that year, saying there was no separation of powers violation because both the legislature and executive branches of government shared the powers in question. If they shared the powers in question, then why does the executive branch have to sign off on it? Anyway, there's no constitutional justification for requiring the legislature's budget committee to sign off on a court settlement at issue in the case. That's what Brian Hagedorn wrote. Yep. Kaul and Republican legislative leaders who defended the law had no immediate comment on the ruling. I would think not. I would think not. If you don't want him to do what he wants to do, then vote and remove him. But he's the attorney general, and the attorney general is the highest law enforcement official. Notice they didn't say officer. Official in the state of Wisconsin. He represents the law. And so for you to come behind him and say, and at this point, they complained that they went to Susan Crawford when she was a Dane County Circuit Court judge, but yet every time you want to do something, you run to Waukesha County because you go to a conservative judge. I get it. That's the game. But what you can't do is get mad when other people do what you do. You can't get mad when other people use the tactic you use. So when you pass a law, not knowing the future, thinking you're going to be in charge the whole time, and then you're not, you end up shooting yourself in the foot. But you really didn't shoot yourself in the foot. Because both conservative and liberal Wisconsin Supreme Court justices told you, kick rocks. You're wrong. It's the same thing that's going on in the Trump administration. Trump is trying to do things that encroach on the legislative branch, and the U.S. Supreme Court told him, go kick rocks. You can't do that. Same way Biden tried to do things in the legislative branch as it related to money, and the Supreme Court said, go kick rocks. And many of these things that people are missing is that these courts, mixed with both liberal and conservative, are unanimous in telling you no on most constitutional things. Now, it's not our fault that most people didn't go to school and didn't pay attention in civics and history to understand what a president can and can't do, what a governor can and can't do, and what an attorney general can do. But in the end, I believe the Wisconsin State Supreme Court was correct. And guess what? What I believe is completely irrelevant. Why? Because they're the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. That's who got voted in. Now, I've been watching the court, and while we think the court is going to be super liberal, it's not. While if you think you're going to get some conservative jurists in there and think the court's going to turn conservative, it's not. Why is that? Because this is their life. And I told you the same thing about the U.S. Supreme Court. We've had a number of decisions that have been unanimous from the U.S. Supreme Court on things that people thought would not cut down ideological lines. How you think is one thing and what the law says is another. And their interpretation, I believe, not only was right, but it sends a powerful message. Most people, if you send somebody to a Supreme Court thinking they're going to be conservative because they're conservative, they're going to do what the Constitution says. If you send somebody there and they're liberal and you think they're going to, hey, we got a liberal majority, we can do what we want now. No. Because the rule of law is still the rule of law. If it's against the law, it's still against the law. And my suggestion to those guys and gals that call themselves conservative lawmakers in the state of Wisconsin, hey, GOP, stop being stupid.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth Team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our third annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
Summerfest brings the biggest names in live music to Milwaukee's lakefront across 3 unforgettable weekends, including performances from Megan Thee Stallion, Bossman D-Lo, Offset, plus T Grizzly, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Fabulous, Netspend, Ira Star, and more. Don't miss Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 19th through 21st, June 26th through 28th, and July 3rd through 5th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Why did Old National Bank decide to create this program?
You know, it was something that was near and dear to the heart of our chairman and CEO, Jim Bryant. Jim wanted us to do more in the African-American communities, more with minority-owned businesses. So he approached Roland Shelton, who was my boss in Evansville, Indiana, and said, Roland, we need to do more. We need to create a program that's going to allow individuals, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses to access capital a lot better than traditionally we've been doing. And so we created the Empowerment Loan Program 2 years ago.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That's what I get leaving my show to other people who keep kicking the cat down the can. Later. Do it later. You know how your computer updates and you can either do it right then or you can say, we'll just do it with it. Well, my computer has gotten to the end of the end and said it has a patch reboot deadline. A reboot is necessary. Computer will reboot in 8 minutes. So what am I supposed to do in 8 minutes? Talk? And then all of a sudden, bloop, go out, right? Well, I'm just going to push the button now. That way I can control what happens, right? That way I can dictate when it's going to happen. 833-212-1017 is the... Come on, computer. Number 88 degrees, partly cloudy. The high today was 90, and the low tonight is 65. I might be sitting outside using the old fire pit. Since ain't no basketball games on. Pacers lost. So over the weekend, I was with a group of people from Indianapolis, and they took over my room to watch the Pacers game. What was that, Saturday night? Sunday night? Might have been Saturday night. Well, I guess it really didn't matter. They lost, so, And I went out crying. Anyway, I don't know if I want OKC to win. I just picked the underdog. And the underdog seemed to be Oklahoma City Thunder. So that. Number two, I don't know if I want to live somewhere that, they look at Thunder and think that it's great. So, yeah. Thunder? Yeah. So, yeah, that's not me. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, is there anywhere where a diverse workplace is not acceptable? I was just wondering. 833-212-1017 is the number. That's my question to you. Is there any area, place in the universe where a diverse workplace? No, it can't be diverse. It can only be white or black or Hispanic or Asian or whoever. I'm just asking. I have my own thoughts about it, but I thought I'd ask you. Because here's one of the things. Let me click this reboot now, otherwise I'll forget, and I'll be in the middle of using my computer, and it'll just restart. So, there was a company that got sued. That was a hip-hop company. Hip-hop record label. That got sued because there was a white female working there, and the people that worked there didn't want her working there. They said, quote, "White people have no place in hip-hop." And so she sued, and she won. Not every time black people sue do they win. But we seem to have this thing in our mind that discrimination is only one-sided, that white people can't be discriminated against. And just like people are going around telling people, DEI is gone. Well, DEI is not a law. Well, the Civil Rights Act is gone. It's not. They're applying it the way that the rule of law says it's supposed to be applied. White people just used it to their benefit to get on our good side And when other people sued, they just settled it out of court. Well, now it's public. Now they're saying, hey, anybody can sue. Well, that's always been true. And so I don't understand why people are missing the fact that the law applies to everyone. And so if you're black and you can be discriminated against, then if you're white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female, whatever, you can be discriminated against. But yet we scream and holler and complain about us being discriminated against. But when white people sue, we feel some kind of way about it. And I don't understand that, because if you were to understand what the law says, the Civil Rights Act was never written for black people. It was written for everybody in America. So why would you not think it wouldn't apply to you? Why wouldn't you think, so if it says you can't discrimination, if you can't discriminate based on race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and it might have some other things in there, then that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. There's no extra, there's no, well, in this circumstance. Another one before I get to your call, 833-212-1017 if you have a comment. When there was a white cop who got fired for hollering racial epithets months or weeks after he graduated from the police academy. And he made statements, right? White cop, younger kid, I call him a kid because he's younger than me, younger kid who actually calls, or he's in his truck pretending to arrest the black people, and then hollers, hey, nigger, blah, 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 blah. Now, he was goofing around in his truck. Somebody else recorded it and then turned it in to the sheriff and said, hey, sheriff, this the guy y'all just hired. Sheriff said, no, I don't think so. And they fired him. They fired him. Now, if you understand that, you should understand you going to work as a white female, working in hip hop, and somebody hollers out, or sends text messages, and I'm telling y'all, text message will do you in. Text message says, why this white cracker chick working here anyway? Which is a derogatory name some black people use for white people. And I would always caution people, you can't have it both ways. They seem to think they can, but you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Just like the GOP legislature. You can't complain what Democrats do and then do the same thing Democrats do. No, you can't have it both ways. It's either constitutional or it's not. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, good evening. Welcome back. Hope you had a good vacation and things of that nature.
I sure did. I missed y'all.
Oh, likewise, and we miss you too. This is a real good topic. I think sometimes for some white people, not all white people, I think they feel a lot of minorities can outperform them. That's why they play dirty to win.
But do you really know that's why they do it, or is that your assumption?
Well, do you really want to know why? I'm going to tell you why.
Al, lie to me.
Oh. I'm gonna lie to you. I think they do it because I think they do it because, first of all, they know they don't got enough to make the cut, so they by any means necessary, because they know somebody with less can come through with the bare minimum and outperform them, because their delivery and representation is very, very basic. And when you play and when you compete with a certain mentality. But when a person comes and their number one goal is delivery and representation, they don't like it, because they do it with a competitive spirit, but their competitive spirit is very, very, very basic.
So let me ask you a question.
Because they know Go for it.
What do you do when black people show up with that same spirit?
Oh, wait, what you do? When they show up with when they show up with that same spirit,
right?
You let their own spirit be the downfall.
Okay.
Because see, when you compete, you come with a different spirit. When you come to show out, and it's a presentation and delivery, which is the creator and the master recipe with the Larrys, you automatically win. But when you come with a competing spirit, you're doing it from all the wrong angles by presentation and delivery. So when the black person and the white person compete against each other, then what? Well, the white person, now he's going to lose. That's why he got to be crooked about it.
Every time?
Every time.
Okay.
Now, you got some good white people who will help you get ahead, but majority of the time, that crooked spirit, they don't want you to come with the bare minimum because you're the Laurie. You're the Laurie in the secret recipe.
So what about when black people do it to you? What about when black people tear you down, talk about you behind your back? When black people tear you down and talk about you, that's because they don't have the dedication, determination, inspiration to elevate to the next level, because they want the benefits and they don't want to do the work. So while they still doing that, they in the same position when they open their mouth, close their mouth, breathe that mouth, and fart that mouth. Them you ain't worried about. But because see, them right there, them are basics. But then can't you apply all that to white people too? Some are basic, some are not, some are competitive, some are not, some are trash, some are not.
You should always apply that to white people, especially if they're against you.
But what about when black people are like that way? Then what?
Well, when black people do it, they always lose anyway because they do it with the wrong spirit.
All right.
But presentation and delivery overrules all. That's why they try to play dirty to win. And you can come with dirty. They can have a whole clean bucket of water.
So everybody like that.
Everybody. I didn't say everybody. I said competitive spirits.
Wait a minute. Isn't work competitive? Isn't sports competitive? Isn't everything you do? Isn't radio competitive? Like, yes, I mean, when there's no competition, there's no winner. When there's no winner, people become lazy. First of all, you don't supposed to come to compete. You come to deliver. A lot of times, those be trying to compete when they don't have to. That's why I always say, take out the weak and go after the strong, and let your delivery and your presentation be the main creator and the main formula of whatever you do. And a lot of people don't like that. I got to tell you, Al,
because they ain't.
I'm trying to win.
Well, you can win, but you can't win if you don't got the Lowrys and the recipe. Because if you the recipe, you don't need the Lowrys. Because it's about delivery and representation that hits you in the back of your mouth, like good soul food.
All right, thank you much.
They go heavy on the stock because they got no flavor. How about that?
All right.
All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.
833-212-1017 is the number. Ivana, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
I called in before. I don't want to be a hypocrite in this situation when it comes to discrimination, but I would say that when white folks discriminate, it makes more of an impact than when black folks discriminate.
And why is that?
If white folks, because they're the majority here, they also own the majority of the businesses here in America.
But that has nothing to do
they all turned around and was like, hey, we're just only going to hire,
But that has nothing to do with discrimination. Discrimination isn't written for just black people.
In a sense, it kind of does have a little bit to do with it.
How?
I'm saying it's more of a impact it's a different type of impact. If all white people turned around and said, we will not allow black people into jobs that will literally close us out of the workforce, considering that they own up to 80% of the businesses here in the United States. If black people turned around and do the same, what we on maybe 20, maybe not, maybe 30, barely that. It's not going to close anybody off from the workforce. People are still going to have access to the workforce. But if white folks turned around and did the same thing, how is everybody going to get a job? You know what I'm saying?
So let's take it out of work. Let's take it out of employment. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 says, basically, it outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national orientation, national origin, and now sexual orientation. That's everybody in everything. Is there anything in your life that you like to do or want to do, and you only expect black people to be there or do it?
Is it only expect black people to be there and do it?
Like, is there something in the world? Let me. Is there something in the world that you say, nope, that should be a black person? If we're gonna get this group together, it should be all black.
I mean, if I'm gonna make a new, black organization, or something like that,
or pick one. Pick one. Fraternity, sorority.
Okay. Let me be more specific. If I was a hairdresser who expertised in natural hair, I would expect, I would most likely go to other black people to come work for me, because 9 times out of 10 they would know how to work with natural hair.
But you really don't know that, do you? But you really don't know that, do you? And if a white person comes in and says, I want to work here, and the girl says, no, I don't want you to work here, or she goes to work there and people start treating her bad or saying she shouldn't be there because she's a white girl, what does she know? In other words, making assumptions about people same way they do us. Isn't it just as wrong?
Okay, you caught me. You caught me. I think that, yes, in a sense, right? Yes, in a sense.
But what do you mean, in a sense? Stop softening the blow. It is either discriminatory or it's not. And watch this. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it makes sense.
If you prefer,
it makes sense, though.
So then,
that's how a lot of these black salons are. They won't let white people.
So why would you get mad at white people? Why would you get mad when white people do it? But then you and I both know black people do it every single day.
I already gave you the explanation.
That's not
why it's different.
No. You gave me an argument that was in work because that was your best argument. But your argument should be able to stand up in any argument if it's on discrimination. But can it?
I think that applies to more than just jobs. I mean, like schools. I mean, a lot of stuff. They're still the majority in the United States. So if they cut off access and say mine, that leaves everybody else in plunder looking dumb and gotta make their own,
And is that so bad?
It's not necessarily
is it so bad to make your own and not rely on somebody else who has the power to take yours from you?
But that's the thing, though. Like during the Reconstruction era, we did.
Stop.
Like
We're not going in the past. See, everybody want to go to the past and argue stuff that happened because you control the argument because you know the outcome. But what about today for tomorrow? Are you willing to do what you need to do today? Yes, ma'am.
Do you think if, like right now, if black people started building up their own communities again, schools tried to get the foreigner people, out of their communities and on the gas stations and all of that, you think that the white folks won't come fucking with us now? Like, you think it would be no smoke? They wouldn't try to burn it down and none of that? You think they would be peaceful and allow us to do us?
You really want my
answer?
So. I don't think so.
You want my answer?
Yeah, sure.
I don't even care. I would hope you would try. Bottom line, build it. We are telling ourselves what's going to happen in the future. We have no idea what's going to happen. But that's why we're not building up our own community, cleaning up our own community, putting people in jail that shoot people, putting people in jail that burn down house. All the crimes going on, but we think something else going to happen, so therefore we're not going to do it. What are you, a fortune teller now? Or are you going to just do what you need to do today to change tomorrow? Going to the past ain't going to change nothing. It already happened. It's easy to use something that happened in the past as an example because you know the outcome. Fix the future.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's true. I think that even on you just speaking on that in general, I think that a lot of our community is like too scared to try to go over the moon or try to build the community because of everything or because of hearing, their grandmother's stories or whatever.
Right.
I think it is a part of it because a part of it is a mental oppression.
Correct.
A part of it. Okay, and I hate when people say victim mentality. I hate when people do that. But in reality, it is like a part of it is generational trauma. A part of it is in the head, because I feel like we're at a point where we have progressed a lot, in general. We don't, I feel like a good amount, a good amount. I don't see no white only signs, around here. So I'll say that. Look.
All right.
But I think that, there is some factors of things that do change the outcomes of most people's lives based on demographics. But at the same time, I do think that some of it is the mental. Some of it is,
right.
Offset of oppression is mental illness. And one of the things that isn't really addressed within the black community as much as it should be is mental illness and why we got so many crazy people out here,
All right.
But
I'm going to talk about that later, though. All right. Thank you much, Yvonne. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. 833-212-1017. She got me so upset. I wanted to talk about it now. But my producer looking at me like, if you don't take a break, I'm going to break your fingers. So it's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Time to upgrade your windows and or doors, but you don't want to really spend a fortune. Well, Pella has the best in the industry. They have a product line for pretty much every budget. And right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making your payments up to 2 years. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends June 30th of 2025. You can set your in-home free consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance, like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get that jump start to a fulfilling career at Carroll University through majors such as video game design, music therapy, pre-law, and over 90 additional majors. Carroll University is Wisconsin's oldest university. Founded in 1846, Carroll offers students small class sizes, personalized attention, and a generous financial aid package while they receive a cutting-edge education. Learn more at carrollu.edu. That's carrollu.edu.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing Coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing Coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe Coaches are here to help.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
We've got eastbound 94 with an accident just past Springdale Road off on the left shoulder on eastbound 94, and those delays stretch all the way back to Highway 16. So be prepared for that. More backups through the Barker Road area, and then again from about 76th Street through the stadium. We've got southbound 41 with an accident at Capitol Drive off on the right shoulder. Delays coming in from Appleton Avenue to that point. Northbound slowing just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Capitol. And then on southbound 43, just about cleared up with the accident on right at Good Hope Road on the southbound side of 43. We've got the left shoulder there blocked up. We've got beyond that more delays from south of Capitol Drive down through the Marquette to the KK River. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Scattered storms early, humid with the low of 65. Tomorrow mostly cloudy. Afternoon heavy rain and storms, a high of 73. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. The Milwaukee Brewers are riding high after taking 3 games out of 4 against NL Central divisional rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, and now have a huge matchup against another divisional rival, the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers head south down 94 to take on the Cubs and will send rookie pitcher Chad Patrick to the mound. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. and coverage begins at 6:35 p.m. on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. The Oklahoma City Thunder are now a game away from winning their first NBA title in franchise history as they defeated the Indiana Pacers last night 120-109. Game 6 of the finals will be on Thursday night as the Pacers return home to try to stay alive in this series. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. and can be heard on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sincere said, evening. Mal said, welcome back. You look refreshed. I look the same way I did before I left. What you talking about? What you talking about? And I was indoors the whole time, so I don't know what you're talking about. I think I look okay, I guess. Yeah. But I get it. Thank you so very much. Marquina said, good afternoon. Did you say West Virginia? Yes, I said West Virginia. I was in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. You talk about a place hard to get to? Lord have mercy. That place is hard to get to. Hey, Kwanda, how are you? You should have been first, Kwanda. There's no reason Sincere was first. You should have been first. How's Florida? Hope everything is going well. SE, what's going on? Nice. Enjoy your time off. Curly going somewhere? Where Curly going? Where Curly? Curly said, oh, look who decided to show up. I told you I was going to be gone. It's not my fault you wasn't on that day. Ain't my fault.
Thank you, not really a city girl. See, she welcomed me back. I'm still waiting. Did Curly Q welcome me back? Yeah, whatever. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, I tell you, y'all treat me so bad. It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Time to upgrade your windows and or your doors, but don't want to know, how you're going to pay for it. Or you don't want to spend a fortune. Pella, the best in the business, has a product line even for your budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Now, it's really for your budget. It has it for kind of like everybody's budget. So if you plan to wait, guess what? You can now get it today. But you can also wait to start making payments. So you can wait up 2 years. Certain restrictions apply, of course. In 6/30 of 2025, set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. PellaWI.com. Curly Q, I know you did, and I said you did. I said you said, what's up? I said you said, just kidding. But I don't think you was kidding.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Coming straight out of Milwaukee, it's time to turn the TV off and turn your speakers up so you can hear what the future leaders of the world have to say. Truth Nation, I'm proud to present The 8 Block, a fresh new youth-led radio show powered by City on the Hill and 1017 The Truth. Hosted by me, your boy, Ben Jammin. Every other week, 8 Milwaukee teens will share stories and laughs that will speak truth to what matters most in their lives. Don't miss the premiere on June 21st at 9 a.m. That's June 21st at 9 a.m. Truth Nation, welcome to The 8 Block.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ride the wave to clean at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 per day. Plus, skip the wait in the fast lane and enjoy unbeatable amenities like free vacuums and tire air. Visit any of their convenient locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Victory Garden Initiative is an 1.5 acre urban farm that sits right in the middle of the Black community on Richards and Concordia. I don't know if you know that Harambe is a food desert. So within its borders, there are no major grocery stores. So people rely on things like dollar store, corner stores, liquor stores to buy food, which is all unhealthy. Everything we grow, and we grow everything, tomatoes to potatoes to carrots to corn to onions, and so on. And everything we grow is free to the community. It started in 2009. They wanted to build a sustainable food production system that was healthy and sustainable. And what that meant was giving people the resources to grow their own food and the skills to make sure that those attempts were successful.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212. 1017 is the number. Everybody talks about it. Well, I think only black people should work here. Okay. What about Black Talk Radio? Should white people work here? Would you accept a white person with a radio show on Milwaukee Black Talk if your topic is the black community and they live there, work there, grew up there, had a house there? See, we talk one way, but then we think something else. We say we're okay for interracial marriage, but in my history, and I know it's going to cause I know it's going to blow up. Black women seem to have a problem with black men with white women, but when I see a white woman when I see a black woman with a white man, you bet not look at them. You better smile and speak and say hello to both of them. Or else the white guy thinks you don't hate him when in fact you don't even care. And there's so many assumptions going around. I personally just don't care. But what I heard somebody say the other day, you love who you love. And I think that's the ultimate discriminatory act or racism, is to see two people in love and you don't like one being with the other because of who they are. As if the only thing that makes them who they are is their skin color. And that's just strange to me. That you accuse other people of being discriminatory, have this ridiculous argument that black people don't have enough power so they can't be racist, which is just dumb to me. And then you turn around. I mean, to think about this, to talk about yourself in the negative. I am so not powerful. Black people are so not rich or famous or anything. Now, I'm not saying you can't be discriminated against, or I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but to acquiesce power to somebody else just because they're not black is weird to me. That's just bizarre. It just doesn't make any sense. The cop that got caught ripping on black people should have been fired. And see, we talk about it, and we expect those kind of things from places like Arkansas, where that happened. But it's in Wisconsin, too. It's in Milwaukee. He was off duty, on video, making racial slurs. Now, if this person gets their job back, are you going to be upset? Are you going to be mad? Because person was off duty. It was on video. Didn't know he was a cop. He wasn't in uniform. Get ready for old police academy training. Get down on the F, you in. Stop resisting. Which then other people will take and attribute it to all other police, black or white, because they don't like the police. Well, that person got fired. And they should have been fired. Because you're held accountable for everything you do on and off duty as a police officer. That's just how life is. If you don't want it, guess what? Don't take the job. But for a white female working in hip hop, working at a place where allegedly Nas, his mass appeal label, got sued because the white girl had texts calling her a cracker. But some people supported that too. I don't get it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Top 5 at 5 up next.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A dairy farmer from Northeast Wisconsin sues the Trump administration for discrimination. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty is representing Adam Faust, a white dairy farmer suing the USDA. Faust is claiming certain loan programs unfairly prioritize sex and race, saying that he's charged a $100 fee that minority and female farmers don't have to pay. Now, 6 Republicans are urging the USDA to end what they called discriminatory practices. Faust was among several farmers who successfully sued the Biden administration in 2021 for race discrimination in the USDA's Farmer Loan Forgiveness Plan. New affordable housing in Milwaukee's King Park neighborhood. County Executive David Crowley says the goal of the project is to increase home ownership. The county is using $6 million in federal funds to build 120 new homes in the West Side neighborhood. 6 homes are already built, and the rest will be constructed by the end of the year. The Attorney General does not need permission to settle certain civil lawsuits. That's the unanimous decision by Wisconsin's High Court today. At issue was the Attorney General's power to resolve environmental and consumer protection cases in cases involving the governor's office and executive branch. A law signed in 2018 required the legislator's Budget Committee to sign off on those settlements. Today, the Wisconsin Supreme Court declared the law unconstitutional. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Of course, before my top 5 of 5, I looked and said, sincere Ronnie Ray Rio said, I want to know, how can blacks be racist? No speculation, but recorded data. I want to see this, so point in that direction. So, first of all, you tell me, sincere, what your definition of racist is. That's what I want to know. Racist is a person who believes one race is better than another and or discriminates against that race. So if someone believes one race is inherently superior, that person is racist. Individuals can be racist, but so can a business, so can a law, so can government. A racist person can do some damage, but a racist government can do far worse. Slavery, apartheid in South Africa, all that. If you don't think black people don't think that their race is inherently superior, by definition, though I say loosely, you are racist. If I believe that black people are inherently superior than white, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native, I'm racist. In some things, I am racist. And other things, I'm discriminatory. Well, I wouldn't say discriminatory. I would more say prejudiced. Because I've never discriminated against a person because of their race. Not that I know of. Not that I remember. I've never purposefully said I'm not giving somebody that because they're white and I'm giving them that because they're black. See, I don't care about racial preference. I don't care about racial discrimination. Well, I care about discrimination. I don't care whether or not you're racist, and I don't care whether or not you're prejudiced. I just don't care. Carry it with you. Take it home with you. You can eat with it, sleep with it, take a shower with it. I just don't care. It doesn't affect me personally, so I don't care. If it affects somebody else, I may jump in and help them, but personally, you do you. Because when I decide to do or believe or say what I say, I don't want to hear a word you have to say. We discriminate every day. People are racist every single day. And so for us to think that black people don't have the power to be racist is just weird, because you have to attach a definition of racism that is so narrow that it looks like only white people can be racist. Most Hispanic people that I know are 100% pro whatever they are. Mexican, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Nicaraguan, Brazil. They don't care. They follow their race. I got no problem with that. If you consider Jewish, though it's a religion, if you consider it a race, and I have no problem, like none. So if white people do it, I don't care. I just don't. I'm going to be me. All I ask you to do is not mess with me. Because then if you mess with me, then I'm going to give you the same juice. I'm going to give you the same energy you give me. So if you come racist, I guess I would do that too. People that think their religious denomination is better than somebody else's, why would I care? Why would I care? That's drama and baggage I'm carrying around that somebody else isn't even thinking about me. Isn't even thinking about me. And this ridiculousness of recorded data,
Why don't you go ask your family members what that is? Ask your family members, depending on who comes home with what date or what wife or what husband, how they would respond. And if you're saying that you've never known a black person to be racist, I am borderline not saying you're lying, but I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that. I've heard things my mother has said, my father has said, and my grandmother have said on both sides of my family that made me look at them like, wait, what? Knowing that somebody in my family was married to a white person. Like, what is that? Like, what? And what do you tell children who have parents of two different races? Like, it's like, what? And that's why I say, you can't help who you love. And let people be who they are. But at least if you're going to be racist, at least admit it. Don't sit there and lie to me, racist? Oh, never. I would never be that way. Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. And see, I don't put anything on anybody else that I don't put on myself. Because there have been some instances I went, right? You know what I'm talking about. And it just is what it is. There are some things about every race that everybody likes and everybody don't. And we just have to admit that. And we just have to, just do what we do. I mean, we talked about that. We talked about mothers. We talked about, even though it was Father's Day, we were talking about mothers last week. All that. Speaking of mothers.
Number 5.
From WISN 12. So there's footage of a mother. It was during a family chat video. It shows a mother grab her young son from their backyard garden and rush inside to escape the exchange of gunfire. Happened on 46 in Hampton when police encountered an armed suspect in a residential neighborhood. Both the suspect and the officer were wounded in the exchange and has been released from the hospital. But they said that the suspect had previous firearm convictions, was on probation at the time of the incident. And if you watch the video, you can actually see the mother, she minding her own business, playing in the garden, got the fence up, right? Got that 6-foot fence. Everything's going to be safe. What do they call it? A privacy fence. I have my privacy fence up. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. So you got your privacy fence up. You're playing in the yard, neighborhood of 46 in Hampton, chilling, minding your own business, doing whatever you do, and then you hear the running gun battle. So then what do you do? What do you do? Your instincts kick in, and you run. And that's what a mother should be. That is exactly what a mother should be. And a mother like that is worth billions. Yes, that's billion with a B.
Number 4.
Speaking of billions, Blavity.com. You know who Byron Allen is? The black guy that owns pretty much a lot of media. Him and Tyler Perry were kind of in competition to think about buying BET, but BET wasn't owned by. You know what I need? I need a racist, like y'all got, it's a boomer moment, which they actually think is insulting, but actually helps me know that they probably don't know what I'm talking about, so they got to catch up. Yeah. I need another sounder. After 4 years of legal proceedings, fast food giant McDonald's has finally reached an agreement, a settlement with Byron Allen. Those who've been following the case, and I've been talking about it over the last year from beginning to end, will remember. He's the founder and CEO of Allen Media Group. He sued them for $10 billion back in 2021, alleged that the company refused to advertise with Black-owned media brands. He was able to use their pattern that displayed blatant and intentional discrimination. Exact details of the settlement, of course, haven't been made public, though it seemed the two parties agreed to settle out of court. As a result, McDonald's denies any wrongdoing, shocking, and has agreed to purchase ads at market value from Allen's companies. What market value means that if it costs, just a random number, if it costs $100 to advertise, if you buy in quantity, 100 turns to 90 or 80, depending on how you buy, or 70 or $50 instead of 100. They're buying them at market value. If it costs $100 for one, and I'm getting 20, so I should get a discount, they're not taking the discount. They said in a manner that aligns with his advertising strategy and commercial objectives. So what does that mean? Well, let's look at this. He sued because every time, and I'm telling you, this happens at it seems to happen. Let me rephrase that. It seems to happen at every media company, at every agency, people in marketing, right? It tends to happen because we have this thing called DEI. So that gave them the opportunity to say, hey, we're doing something for sort of the same way we do stuff for the environment, right? Hey, we're an environmental, we have a triple bottom line, and, I'll explain that one day. We look to the environment, and we look to this, right? The Arboretum down the street, yeah, they gave $100,000, so now they said they gave X amount of their money to fight the environmental. Haven't changed anything, hasn't done anything. Plastic coming out the wazoo. Nothing paper, nothing that'll disintegrate and make the garbage depot go down. None of that. But the fact that I gave money there makes it look good. Well, what they did is they said, yeah, we're going to give $15 million of our ad budget to black people. Now, granted, you got $15 million? That's what I'm talking about. All black radio and TV stations, like all of them, $15 million. You know what their advertising budget was? $1.6 billion. Now, I'm almost ashamed to multiply, or should I say divide, 15 million into 1.6 billion. Because 10%, right? 10% is what, $160 million? $160 million. They spent 15 for all of black media throughout the country. All. And then spend everything else on white people. Now, why is that a problem? Most people would say they get a right to do with their dollars what they want. Well, you can't talk diversity and inclusion and all that stuff, and then when it comes to being diverse, what did you do? You didn't even make, look, watch this. If you wanted to use let me not go there. Because we're only 14% of the population. And if 10% is 160 million, then okay. So it should have been more. You should have been spending well over $200 million on the black community. You know why? Well, no, we shouldn't. Well, yeah, because we give you 40%. 40% of your revenue comes from the black community. 40. What's 40% of 1.6 billion? And now look at the number 15 million. That's why he sued. And that's why he won. That is why he won. So now they're singing, howdy, howdy, and, talking to each other, and, we love each other, and all those wonderful things. But we still need to watch them. We still need to make sure that they either do what they said they're going to do, or we stop eating at McDonald's, which I don't think will ever happen. I'm just saying. Me personally, I don't think it'll ever happen. Anybody know why? because that's what we do. 42 million black people in 2020. And of all the people that go to McDonald's, we were 40%. 40%. You hear me? 40% of their revenue came from us. Yeah, we can't get them to what? Can't get them to spend more than $15 million. Well, thank you, Byron Allen. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And, you know, I think I said it before. I've been thinking about moving to a suburb. I really have. But then again.
Number 3.
I don't know if you all heard what happened in Minnesota with the shooting. Well, they've increased security measures at the state capitol in Madison after 2 Madison lawmakers were shot in their homes over the weekend, and roughly a dozen Wisconsin lawmakers appeared on a list compiled by the suspect, Vance Bolter. Now, if you think Vance is the only one, you got problems. Assembly Speaker Robin Voss requested additional security measures for when lawmakers meet on tomorrow, and the state State Senate Sergeant at Arms said in a statement that a series of enhanced security protocols are now in place following the weekend shootings. So number 1, don't become a state legislator. That's just me. And 2, a lot of them live in suburbs. Just don't live in a suburb. Just don't live in a suburb. Some of them are talking tough. I will not back down in the face of terror. However, as an elected official, must do better to lower the temperature. So now we got liberals shooting at conservatives, and now we got conservatives shooting at liberals. I find it interesting that when conservatives were shooting at liberals, I didn't hear this. Oh, I'm sorry. I do hear this, but when liberals shoot at conservatives, for me, that's that double-mindedness, because those same 2 groups shooting at each other would just rather shoot me. And that's the problem I have. One lawmaker gets shot and their spouse. Now, everybody got security. Can we move this fast for community violence? Hey, Mr. Speaker, can we move this fast when there's a shooting in the community? Can we kind of, Speaking of dying.
Number 2.
From Fox6Now.com. That was a pretty weird transition, wasn't it? Speaking of dying. Local elected officials are criticizing the leadership at Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office over jail deaths. Fox 6 News spoke one-on-one with Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball, who is standing her ground. Why would you write something like this in here? Making it look like it's a back and a forth and a back and a... So you're anyway, who wrote this? Rhea Jones. Bad job, Rhea. What we know, Ball has been under fire for over a week, with several elected officials questioning the integrity of her office over the recent jail deaths. State Representative Ryan Clancy, Democrat from Milwaukee, called out her office for a toxic culture and flat-out lies in a statement. Clancy said the sheriff's neglect is killing Milwaukee residents. Half of them you probably don't even know, Ryan. Stop. Ball said that's unfair because she and her team are working hard to keep the jail safe. It's just frustrating me because they are Monday morning quarterbacking. Ball said it really ticks me off because this is a lie. We actually look at all of our processes, especially if we have an in-custody death, but we do it on a regular basis to see how we can improve the lives of those in our care. So there have been 2 deaths in Milwaukee County Jail since March. None last year. Since 2020, there have been 14. Now, this is an unfair thing to write and say, because the problem is Clancy says, I don't know how many more times the sheriff said one more death is too many and do nothing to prevent those deaths. How do you prevent someone else from dying? If we could do that, all of us would be living longer. So it's a dumb comment to say that we can prevent deaths when we don't know the person gonna. If I could tell the future, I can prevent a death. That's idiotic because I can't. I don't care how many people you have in there. I don't care how many times you bring somebody in jail. They will lie and they will tell you, oh no, I haven't taken any drugs. And they panicked when they got arrested. And then they thought they was getting arrested for drugs and got arrested for speeding. And they take them into jail and a nurse or the medical staff will ask them questions and they'll say, I've not ingested anything. And they'll take their blood pressure and they'll take their heart rate, all that, and they're fine. Half hour, 20 minutes later, boom, unconscious. They die. Oh my God, there's another death in jail. How is that the sheriff's fault? Now, it is unfortunate when anybody dies. Now, there have been negligence in the past. They have paid for that. There's been negligence where people didn't do their job. And there have been lawsuits and people have gone to jail. I get it. And in that instance, I think it was warranted because people didn't do their job. They did dumb things, cutting water off and all sorts of things. And that's a travesty. And you should be held accountable for it. But when people die when there's nothing that you can do about it, when people die when you want me to check the jail every 15 minutes at irregular intervals and the person dies within the 15 minutes, what are you supposed to do? And I don't know if that's the time limit, but what are you supposed to do? You don't want to give any more money to get sheriff's deputies. You want to defund the police. You don't like the police. Every time they do something wrong, you want them to go to jail. But when you being a criminal, you don't want to go to jail. You don't want your family members to go to jail. You don't want anybody to go to jail. But when you have an undiagnosed mental health issue and nobody knows, how is someone supposed to know that? I'm telling you, if we could read the future, nobody would die. Well, I don't know if that's true. I think nature might take its course. And now for the antithesis of discrimination and racism, there's that thing called white privilege.
Number 1.
From FoxNews.com, a Michigan mother is heartbroken again after a teenager who killed her son in 2023 was spared prison during his sentencing. Grosse Pointe police, and I talked about this, initially responded to the single vehicle crash November 17th of 2023, located the defendant, Kiernan Teague, belted into the driver's seat, and the 18-year-old victim, Flynn McCrell, unresponsive and belted in the passenger seat. Prosecutors accused Teague of driving 100 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour speed zone around 9 p.m. when he crashed the car into a telephone pole. Defendant was charged with second-degree murder, later pleaded to manslaughter with a motor vehicle with an adult designation February of this year. They gave him a blended sentence. Are you kidding me? And they said, well, this is because he was 16. Now, if this kid was black, and we've seen it, somehow we figure out a way that this kid is an adult. He got probation at a level 2 placement facility. Probation. Evidence in the case will show that the defendant was driving in a residential neighborhood at speeds that rival speeding on Michigan freeways, Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Wirth said in a June 13th statement. Sadly, Mr. McCrell lost his life as a result. We know that the rules of the road exist for a reason. Speed kills. 25 in a residential neighborhood is mandated, not just a mere suggestion. McCrackle's mother, Ann Vanker of Grosse Pointe, expressed her disappointment with the sentencing. Probation. Killed somebody. Reckless driving, destructive behavior, before or after 18. He should be in jail. But yet, you live in Grosse Pointe, that's one. Number 2, it's privilege. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, more Talking Text Line.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our third annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get that jump start to a fulfilling career at Carroll University through majors such as video game design, music therapy, pre-law, and over 90 additional majors. Carroll University is Wisconsin's oldest university. Founded in 1846, Carroll offers students small class sizes, personalized attention, and a generous financial aid package while they receive a cutting-edge education. Learn more at carrollu.edu. That's carrollu.edu.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. RC said, black people can only be racist on a personal level. I've ever seen groups of racist black people. If so, it's extremely rare. And I replied to him, quit tripping. You're coming up with extreme instances just to support your argument. That makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I get it. It is not really a city girl saying, I ain't paying, you can't pay me to eat McDonald's. He said, I hope you had an awesome day. It's hot outside. Yes, it is. I told RC the problem is it's in the past. Move forward. Build tomorrow. Don't forget. Forgive so you can move forward. Like I get it. Don't forget it. But don't wallow in it to where it stops you from moving forward. Too busy looking back. I get it. I get it. I get it. But at some point, you got to let that go. Seriously, you got to let that go. Talking text line. Miles said, though I work there to pay for summer classes, that's your excuse, right? The only thing I really get from McDonald's are the chocolate chip cookies back when they used to be $3 for $1. But then not really a city girl said, oh yeah, I forgot about those. They were really good. Yep. Little baby diabetes. All righty then. I'm sorry I couldn't help myself. You know why? Because I used to eat them cookies too. Those cookies were good. I ain't gonna lie. Those cookies were good, but they were basically turning you into a diabetic. I'm just saying. They did. I ate them. But back then, I would eat pretty much, I don't know, anything if it was sweet. I do that now, too. I'm way behind. Ooh, Lord. I'm way behind. Frank, yeah, we missed y'all, too. What's up, Lana Banana? Frank said, these established lines are being like never before. I don't know what that means. Maybe I was talking about something back then. Frank said, Al is eloquent in cutting his own. Anyway. See, Southside, he said, we, every one of us, measure our discrimination as we maneuver. LT said, black people are prejudiced against each other for some of the same reasons that white people do against us. Light skin versus colorism. Okay. White skin versus black skin, where we live in the city versus suburb, education, college or not. It goes on and on. Well, I got to tell you, I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudiced pro-college. I have no problem saying that. I don't hate you if you don't. That's my point. I don't like look down on you if you didn't go to college. That's because too many people in America are millionaires and they didn't go to college. And we can lie and say that that's not the barometer of money, but it really is. Nobody likes to say it, but you complain about you not making enough money. That's all I'm saying. So we say it. But, yeah. Now, the colorism thing, I haven't been brave enough to come up with colorism yet. I haven't been brave enough to have somebody come in because my argument will probably be a little too strong because it's like racism. If you choose to do it, you do it. The problem is if it's something that you have a preference for, why does anybody care? Like, why are you calling people out? It's almost like we want everybody that's black to be absolutely the same, and we're not. And it's like somewhere we forgot that we're not, that it's actually okay to be different. Some guys like light-skinned girls, dark-skinned girls, medium girls, all like some girls like why is that a thing? And why do you care what somebody else likes? That just makes absolutely no sense to me. LT said, Dr. King, you ever get your fence built? Yes, I did. It's been built over a year, maybe like a couple of years. Yeah. Got my fence built. Everything is cracking. Stable fences. That's what I went to. So, yep, they did a phenomenal job. And you know the bad part about the one thing that Stable Fence did that I didn't like, they finished it in a day. I was looking to get a little milk out of that. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get a little brownie points out of that, but they messed it up. They got it done in a day. So now I'm sitting here like, yeah, anyway. Mal said, Dr. Ken, how can we go about letting it go when there's a constant reminder of the past on a certain basis? Like what? Because it's always been there. So you should have gotten used to it, and you should have figured out ways to maneuver around. Like what? Tanya said, uh-oh, say that, Dr. Ken. I'm not cut from the same cloth, and I'm okay being different. And then Tanya said, get your lazy behind back to work. Oh, well, excuse me.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop, festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit, make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin' and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Northbound 94 to westbound 894 in the Mitchell interchange. We do have a crash with both shoulders with cars at it, so just be extra careful there. We've also got a crash on the ramp from Highway F in Waukesha County to 94 eastbound. Now, this is heavy already from Highway 16, pretty much all the way through the Barker Road area. You're back on the brakes from 92nd Street through the stadium. The westbound side, we got backups out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road, and then from the zoo, taking you all the way to Highway 164. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, scattered storms early, humid with a low of 65. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Afternoon, heavy rain and storms, a high of 73. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. The Milwaukee Brewers are riding high after taking 3 games out of 4 against NL Central divisional rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, and now have a huge matchup against another divisional rival, the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers head south down 94 to take on the Cubs and will send rookie pitcher Chad Patrick to the mound. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. and coverage begins at 6:35 p.m. on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. The Oklahoma City Thunder are now a game away from winning their first NBA title in franchise history as they defeated the Indiana Pacers last night 120-109. Game 6 of the finals will be on Thursday night as the Pacers return home to try to stay alive in this series. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. and can be heard on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I once had a handsome black man tell me he preferred white women. I mean, he was like, what? Like what? So I don't know what that means. Does it matter if he was handsome? Like, because if he was ugly, you wouldn't care? Like, what is that? I'm just saying. Miles said it can be difficult for some people to move forward, especially when they lost a family member to racist violence. Of course it can. Again, what you're doing is you're finding extreme answers to answer a question, and you're not looking at everything. So anybody can answer a question. Well, what about this? Well, in that instance, that's the only thing. If you lost a family member to racist violence, then of course you wouldn't want like racism or fit. So there's no other way out in that argument. Come up with something better. For instance, I do not think the late Mama Till, Emmett Till, got over her son Emmett, especially after justice was not served, despite her going through extreme lengths to show it to the world. Does that have anything to do with racism? Or are you saying, like, I don't know what that argument is for, because are you saying that's the argument that black people can't be racist or what? I don't know. RC said, trust, I don't let racism hold me back, but I usually see the huddles they try to put in place, hurdles, pretty clearly. Sure. And so then what do you do? Like, what do you do? Do you worry about that, or do you move forward? Do you get done what you need to get done? Because I'm going to tell you, if you spend all your time going through that, you're never, like what is it the Bible says? How can you move forward plowing a field when you're always looking back, because you never know where you're going? You start going off course and start going all in other people's fields instead of going where you need to go. Is it hard? Sure. Think about the white family that's been killed because of black violence. And black people killed their mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, uncle. That's the same kind of argument. You argue to offset something somebody else said with an argument that nobody could argue that. If a white woman hates black people because a black kid killed her kid, like you would, right. You would be upset. Anybody would. I think if you remove race, anybody would be upset. Race just makes it that much more inflammatory. And race makes it that much more inflammatory because more things have happened to black people at the hands of white people than of white people at the hands of black. But if you let that consume your life, you're going to lose. If you let that consume you, you are going to lose because you're going to eat yourself from the inside. And it'll tear you up. 833-212-1017 is the number. I only got a couple minutes. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you? I'm doing fine. How you doing? Everybody's okay. What's up?
Good. I know you only got a couple of minutes, Dr. Ken. I just have to call sooner.
What up?
You got a lot of minutes. But, Well, I was going to say happy belated Father's Day. I didn't get a chance to say
Thank you. I
happy Father's
appreciate
Day.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I was just listening to your comments and not mixed marriages. Go ahead.
I got something to tell you. So, are you going to join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration on the 19th, Thursday, from 11 a.m. to 3? You going to be there?
Yeah.
All right. So stop by, say hello, get some truth swag.
I will.
You know, we got the oldest and the biggest Juneteenth celebration in the country. So come hang out.
Okay, we do. We do.
All right, it's presented by
No
Hope
doubt
Christian
about it.
Schools.
I'll see you then. I'm not going to keep you.
No, you're good. You're good. I got about another minute or so.
Another minute? Oh.
And so,
well, really.
And so I want you to come hang out because you'll get to see American Family Insurance Group of offices, Molson Coors, Educators Credit Union, Associated Bank. You're going to see the truth, all the hosts. I might be there. I may not be there. I got other stuff going on Juneteenth Day, so y'all can come hang out 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. live broadcast.
Yeah, I do. Usually I come and my sister come with me.
Okay.
So we come down there.
Okay.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'll call you another day and I'll make my list.
No.
Pop off Friday and make my list.
Take 30 seconds. How your daughter doing?
Oh, wow. She's been in and out of the hospital.
Okay.
Had to have more surgery, da-da-da-da-da.
But she hanging in there.
I've been having some bad luck.
Ah.
Yeah, and then my husband's in the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Both of them in the same hospital. So I got two of them.
What you been doing to people that you make? What you been doing to people?
And I've been doing nothing but going to the hospitals. I'm sick of going to hospitals. I know they know me by heart.
Well, we will keep all of them in our prayers.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
I'll work on them.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Okay.
And I'll see you all. I'll be calling you, though. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hey, Truth Nation, violence is a problem that affects us all, but together we can make a difference. That's why we're hosting our third annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tori Lowe, on Saturday, July 12th, from Victory Over Violence Park, MLK Drive, right down to the studio at 3rd Street Market Hall. So over the next month, Tori's going to be talking to politicians and community leaders about how we can better provide resources to stop the rise in violence. So if you want to join the Stop the Violence here in Milwaukee, go to truthwalkagainstviolence.com. That's one word, truthwalkagainstviolence.com. Right now, sign up for our Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE, on Saturday, July 12th, 9 a.m. Don't be showing up at 9 o'clock at night going, where everybody at, because we ain't going to be there. 9 a.m., 12 noon. We're going to walk from Victory Over Violence Park down to MLK Drive, all the way down to 3rd Street Market. Can you make it?
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, please join us for the 54th annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee on Thursday, June 19th. The Truth will be broadcasting live from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so don't miss out on your chance to celebrate with us with our live Juneteenth broadcast presented by Hope Christian Schools and Carroll University. 1017 The Truth's celebration of Juneteenth is also brought to you by American Family Insurance, Associated Bank, Gruber Law Offices, Molson Coors, and Educators Credit Union.
I've got to share that I am also a beneficiary of the Old National Bank Empowerment Loan Program. So, Tracy, with that being said, what is the Empowerment Loan Program?
Great. Well, the Empowerment Loan Program is a special purpose loan program that we launched 2 years ago. It has been a success. It was something, again, near and dear to the heart of not only our chairman and CEO, but just our organization as a whole. We work with contractors, consulting firms, retail food operations, daycares. In fact, so far, we've approved $50 million of loans to minority and women-owned businesses within a 2-year period.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need the $100 hookup. This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the $100 hookup. And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavani's.com.
Get that jumpstart to a fulfilling career at Carroll University through majors such as video game design, music therapy, pre-law, and over 90 additional majors. Carroll University is Wisconsin's oldest university. Founded in 1846, Carroll offers students small class sizes, personalized attention, and a generous financial aid package while they receive a cutting-edge education. Learn more at carrollu.edu. That's carrollu.edu.
Don't miss 3 weekends of live music at Milwaukee Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, including Offset, Megan Thee Stallion, Bossman D-Lo, plus T Grizzly, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Fabulous, and more. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yep, I said it. Although I don't know if I can predict it, whether or not we'll be at war by tomorrow. You think Trump's going to bomb Iran? Probably bomb them before they are able to get uranium up to 238. If they do that, they got weapons grade nuclear weapons. That's going to be an interesting one. I think I'm going to go home and build a bunker. I'm just saying. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. And you can hang around here for the next 22 hours when I'll be back for the best in Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. You're listening to WGKB 1017 The Truth. Hey, y'all. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Rhea. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all. I'm out.